didn't do it right this morning. I'm sorry. Let's see. There, that's better than the way I had it. But Ray Fagans from the Patriots Lab is with us this morning, and we're just gonna talk about whatever comes up. You're welcome to join us in the live chat wherever you are, and hopefully we will have you on the program. I will kick a button there. Okay, now we're all set. My eyes are a little not quite. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're ready. So, Ray, what is new and exciting and needs to be said in the world?
Good morning. Good morning. How's everything, Brother Dave?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just getting these shares out here real quick as I
Good.
promised everyone I would. But what do you think? What am I wearing today? Huh?
You're wearing blue.
My Seahawks, bro.
Seahawks. Did they play football and win?
Of course. We
Good.
didn't just win. We well, we're on this is rated PG. We spanked them. I was gonna use a different terminology, but we spanked them.
We
That's what
spanked
we
them.
do.
We didn't win. We spanked them.
That's what we do. But everything is good, man. We're getting ready for a snowstorm, so they say, and so we're gonna batten down the hatches. And but man, we're talking about the world of craziness today. What's going on in the world today?
World of craziness.
Yeah,
First off, it's like you said, it's cold everywhere, regardless of how you look at it. It was 48, felt like 40 this morning, and I kind of rolled over and said to my wife, Donna, it's cold. And then she looked up where mother, our mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, is in Connecticut, and
right.
it was like 8 degrees, and it felt like 8 degrees, and I didn't want to know what 8 degrees felt like. So uh, I guess that's why we moved here to where it's 59 right now. Feels like 59. So
I feel different this morning. You know, I was last night. My wife was like, "Do we have any coffee?" And normally, when I said no, I'd get up or she'd get up and we go get some coffee. But
yeah,
it's so cold out there. Last night, neither one of us wanted to get up and go get no coffee. So guess what your boy didn't have today? No,
the nectar of the
no
gods.
morning coffee today. No
The
morning.
nectar. Well,
That's what I'm here with Dave and Boogie with the Bull. Because
you
I ain't got
gotta have
today.
you gotta have coffee in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern because the key word is to drink coffee and have fun.
Brother AJ, I see you, AJ Andrews. Now you talk about somebody that's got cold and got some snow. AJ, that man probably 4 feet deep of snow, something
Ouch!
like that.
Ouch!
Yeah,
Four
he's up there up in New York, way up there in New
four
York.
feet of snow.
Yeah, he probably got something like that right about
And I can remember Donna telling me once that Pop, her father, opened the door and it was like all snow, and he had to dig through it to get to be able to do what he needed to do and prepare his family. And kudos because I couldn't do it. I ended up sitting in a chair just waiting until it went away. If
that.
it went away, but my respect out to the people that take care of it, that plow your roads and keep them clear, because some people do know how to drive in the snow and some people don't, and there are I think more people that don't than than do, and I say that affectionately. You know,
All
I'm
right, you ready to jump into the deep end of the pool?
ready to jump into the deep.
Oh God, where do we start? I guess we'll start with Elon Omar.
Okay,
If you haven't heard, Elon Omar finally, I don't know what took him so long. Maybe it took maybe upwards to $19 billion in Social Security fraud,
it
allegedly. that took place in her surroundings. She's running an investigation. They filed their financial disclosures in 2022. Bro, they were broke. They were worth about $42,000. Now all of a sudden, these two people's worth $30 million.
Yeah,
That's what she filed. $30 million.
yeah.
Where you get that money from on $150,000 a year salary, $120,000 a year salary? Where you get that kind of
They're,
money
they
from?
well, I assume they're getting it somehow illegally, like Nancy Pelosi. The base
Allegedly.
salary. The base salary was $174,000 a year plus her bonus that she got for being speaker and the other bonus that she got for being a member of Congress for so long. And
I mean,
I don't.
2022,
Yeah,
23, 24, 25, 26. In 4 years,
yeah.
you went from disclosing $42,000 to now
Yeah,
$30 million, and
and
your surroundings, your community, your whatever district, whatever is under investigation for allegedly, um wow, 9
yeah,
billion, 19 billion,
and
whatever. Oh my goodness.
and
But
and and if they actually needed it in Minnesota, if they actually needed that $9 billion in Medicare coverage, we would have made sure they got that $9 million. I just say that because we're Americans and we stick together when other
right,
Americans need help. Um, they're not they're not Americans as far as I see. If they take $9 billion from everybody for themselves, because $9 billion is a lot of money.
bro, that's a lot of money.
It, it,
That's a
it,
lot of money.
however you look at it, it's a lot of money.
But you know what? I'm glad. Some accountability,
Yep.
has to come out of this. In order to deter that these crazies don't ever again run up into a house. Well, we ain't even talking about that. See, that's what's on my mind right now.
So you can go.
But
Like,
Elon Omar, we already know it is what it is. We know how she got all that money in 4 years. It don't
yeah,
take a hustler to understand.
no,
It,
you got it the wrong way.
So let's see what happens. I'm sure you'll be back up here. We'll be able to talk that again. You invite me back, and we can see what the outcome is on that, man. Because there's no way she can get away with all that. But the investigation, Lord knows how long that's going to take
Yep.
place. That's going to take place. But what are your thoughts on these crazies
I really wish.
running up into a house of worship, bro?
Yeah, they are crazy because they have the audacity to say we were welcomed in and we weren't asked to leave. Well, you were welcomed in probably because of the way you came in, and you weren't asked to leave because you probably weren't going to leave anyway.
Look,
And you know, going and doing it in a church or a synagogue or whatever just seems to me to be the wrong way to do it, because those people are there to pray, and they're there to pray for whatever reason and however they want to go about it. I just it really ticks me off. I mean, it really gets me to the point where I'm tired of telling bad news to people that they have to wake up and deal with this in Minnesota each day. They have to wake up where they are and deal with ice, and they can't deal with ice. and they can't offer a solution to deal with ICE. I'm just tired of bad news, and I know, bad news.
Hey, Dave, I got a I got a video. Can
Go
I
ahead.
share a video real quick?
You absolutely can share anything you want.
All right, let me go ahead and see if I can get that in there.
Hold on, I have to get over here.
Let me know when you got. Let me know when you got it up on there.
There, it's up.
Renee good! Renee good! Renee good! Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment, exactly. Renee, good! Renee, good!
We have a duty to win. We must always support one another.
So, and that's just a brief clip. But if they would have ran up on the wrong one, because not everybody wants people to come all up in their face. Like the redhead girl that was sitting there drinking her coffee and everything.
Yep.
And her boyfriend see, if that had been me, and you come up, you talking to me, that's one thing. But now you want to talk to my redhead? Nah, man, see,
Yep.
These people there's gotta be an example set for these people, man.
I want to cut back for a second. AJ Andrews says he has 2 feet of snow, not 4 feet, but 2 feet can be just as bad as 4 feet.
Yeah, 2 feet. Hey, depending on how tall you are, 2 feet could be, like Dave said, 2 feet can just be just as bad, depending on how tall you are. Depending on how long you.
It can be, but these people, they weren't doing anything. They were just sitting at church and praying and being with people they wanted to be with, and then they're all of a sudden invaded. And the question about, how did you earn your nice clothes? I don't really care. If you go to Joel Austin's church, or you go to Ken Copeland's church, and you put billions of dollars in the plate, and he lives however he wants to live, and you're happy that he lives that way, then so be it. Who am I to tell you that you're not happy? But when someone walks in and starts saying, "Hey, you're not happy with this," maybe we've got.
These people, and there are people talking about it, but a lot of people don't know what it is. So we'll go ahead and go through it briefly. These people, whether they realize it, that's what happens when you go through life and you don't know the law and you just want to be ignorant. These people have broken all type of federal laws, and it falls under something called the FACE Act, the Freedom of Access to Clinically Entrances Act. Is a 1994 U.S. federal law criminalizing the use of force, threats, or physical obstruction to interfere with people accessing or providing reproductive health services, or to damage such facilities or places of worship, enacting due to violence against abortion clinics. It allows for federal prosecution and civil rights lawsuits but its enforcement and interpretation may become continuous, particularly after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, with
Right.
ongoing debates about
Well,
its application and impact. Well, we definitely know that these people came out here to intimidate, because it did look like they was having a civil conversation towards nobody. Did you see the way they was badgering the pastor?
yeah.
How? So
Yeah.
disrespectful.
Who cares how I'm dressed? Who cares how I'm dressed? My flock is happy with how I'm dressed. And if I drove a Mercedes to Sunday church, who cares? That's what my flock wanted me to drive.
These people got to get a life. They
You know?
they they,
Yeah.
they really got to get a life. A lot of them are standing up for something that they don't even know what they standing up.
They're not. They're not. They're following their heroes. They're following the Don Lemons of the world into what they're doing, or they're protesting because they got paid to protest and they don't understand what they're protesting. I guess I'm the exception to the rule that no, Renee Nicole Good did not have to get shot that day. But Renee Nicole Good drove her car into an ICE operation, refused to leave, looked like she was going to run over an ICE officer who had gotten run over before, I guess, and hurt his leg in doing his job. And pretty bad. 34 stitches and staples is pretty bad. I'm surprised the guy got up and came back and did his job again.
Being that you brought up,
Anything I brought up, you're more than welcome to bring up and discuss, Ray.
being that you brought up Don Lemon, go ahead and let me know when you get that over there.
Okay, hold on.
Let's see what Don Lemon, the audacity. Don't worry, Don. You unbit off a little bit more than you can chew, bro.
Yep,
You about to find out.
He did.
You about to FAFO. Soon as they, okay, here we go. You about to FAFO.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus, because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world, is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and
worship.
love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here to
chronicle what
worship.
happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for everything.
You go, and then I'll go.
Okay, there's a time and a place for everything. If you want to go one-on-one with the Pastor Don, then you go to a Wednesday night prayer meeting and turn it into whatever you want, or say whatever you want. But when they're there to pray, they're there to pray. They're not asking you to bring in your protest, your hassle. They're just there to pray at that time. Maybe you'll find out that they agree with you. Maybe you'll find out that they don't. But you just didn't belong when you went in, and you only went in for ratings. Go ahead, Ray.
Don Lemon. Don Lemon. And he has the nerve to say, I'm a Christian. Don Lemon, you know what? If somebody was to bust up into your church, whatever church you might go to, and show their hind butt like that, well,
Yeah.
And again, you might like the hind butt, but to show out like that, you and your congregation, I believe, will have something to say about that. But you act like you just ain't got no damn sense. You act,
No.
and this ain't the first time. First, you're trying to convince people that crossing over the border is a misdemeanor and it ain't a crime and it ain't this and it ain't that. That was your first stupid video.
But wait a
And
minute.
now,
You just said it's a misdemeanor. That means it is a crime,
but then you go,
regardless of people making it a minor crime. It's a crime.
exactly.
Tom Homan stood there and said, if you enter illegally, that's a crime. And he kept saying that to AOC. It is a crime.
Hey, you ain't
Change
gotta
the
like
rules.
it, you ain't gotta love it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, change the rules if you don't want it to be a crime. I'm not angry at the people who came, the 25 million that came under Biden and Kamala Harris when she was the border czar as well as the vice president. I'm not really mad per se at them. I'm mad at the fact that Kamala Harris as border czar didn't vet everybody and say, no, I'm sorry, you can't come in. No, I'm sorry, you can't come in. Well, okay.
That's why they just let them come over by the millions. It wasn't meant
Yeah.
to be vetted.
Well, obviously it wasn't meant to be vetted, but maybe it should have been.
There's no way it was intentional. So
Well,
there was never no intention for it to be vetted. That's why I feel sorry for all the ones getting up out of here.
Yeah.
There needs to be more.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think there is enough of them getting
Yeah.
up out of here at
Yeah.
the rate. That's
Yeah.
my personal opinion. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't hear Americans getting shipped off talking about, hey, they shipped me off. I don't care what these people come out on the news say. I don't see no families talking about they took. Now, I granted, there might have been some hiccups, might be some mistakes. Yeah, they might question some people. They might detain people to figure out who you are. But you know what? Sometimes life will be a little inconvenient. But to go and take it a stretch that they're deporting Americans. Shut up. Get out of here. They're doing their job. Everybody's getting deported. Don't need to be here.
If we deport an American citizen, I think we've come clean and said we've done that and we will do everything to get that person back.
I don't even entertain.
But if we have, then show us that we have.
Hey, AJ, since you want to stick around, how about them 49ers? How about them 49ers, bro? Hey, you know the best part about that? The best part about the 49ers in that game is when they was coming out the tunnel with their boom box. That was the best thing they did, because at the kickoff, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was a wrap.
I haven't watched since the Patriots were good, and you watched an NFL game because they were good. I haven't watched the Jacksonville Jaguars because the ticket prices keep going up and you almost can't afford to go.
Right.
But I bet a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper with my oldest grandson that the Jacksonville Jaguars would beat the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, and they didn't. So I'm out, and I'll give it to him whenever I see him. But good luck to the teams that made it. If the Seahawks made it, Seattle Seahawks made it, I hope we drink a lot of coffee and have a lot of fun, because that's the home of Seattle's best. So I hope that's what we do. We drink coffee and have fun and just have a good time. And I hope that we don't discuss the politics that's in the world. We just get back to going and having fun.
And you know what? I had said something about that earlier. How
Yeah.
it's funny how it don't matter what political affiliation you are and stuff like
Oh,
that. When people come to the game and get in that stadium, that's the last thing they thinking about.
yeah.
As soon as they leave the stadium and go back to their neutral little corners and stuff,
Yep.
then they want to be idiots.
Yep.
It's amazing. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But it is what it is. I think it's a mental thing. It's just a mental thing.
I think it is. I think it is. And we're conditioned that way because this artist doesn't want your money if you're an American and you like Trump. Well, you didn't care about what my money, how I made my money before. You just liked the fact that I had money, so I could spend it on you. You know? And if you want to leave, stop telling me you want to leave. Just leave.
Right.
Really, really. You know, Bruce Springsteen, stop telling me that you're thinking about leaving. Just leave or block me so that I don't have to deal with it. You know, even Rosie's not talking about Trump anymore. She's talking about she woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and what happened then. You know?
Yeah, there was some bad calls. There was some bad calls for the weekend. I feel so sorry for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But hey, they did have chances to win though.
Oh,
I mean,
sure they did.
so
Well, they did.
we can debate the call, we can debate the catch, we can debate all that. But at the end of the day, when I mean, it's just sad that it was a crucial point of the game when
I haven't
that
watched
had to happen.
I haven't watched the game. The
Yeah.
only attraction was the Buffalo Bills were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and my grandson, who lives in Florida, is a Bills fan, and it was important to him to see if they won. So like I said, I put up a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper to see if they won. You know, we probably have more. We will probably have more fun when we sit and we drink the 2-liter bottle. He won't drink the whole 2-liter bottle all at once, but we'll have fun as we sit and talk about it. And he'll probably teach me things about football that I didn't know because I'm the worst person to watch football with, and Donna can attest to it, that I will ask everything because
Right.
I just want to know. I'll probably forget now, but I just want to know.
Ain't nothing wrong with
So
knowing. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing. You know what's crazy? I was telling somebody the other day. How come people act like when Donald Trump leaves, he's taking Greenland with him? They act like when Donald Trump leaves the presidency, he gonna take Greenland. He owns Greenland. They don't understand what Donald Trump is trying to do with Greenland. He's doing for America. This ain't about Donald. Oh, it's about Donald Trump. Well, what's he gonna do with it when he leaves? Take it with him? This ain't about Donald Trump. This is about making sure that strategically positioned throughout the world, we ready for anything that might go down.
Right.
And we already got a base there. Some what? If we had it, then we can put some real shit. And people don't understand. But hey, he ain't. People say he's gonna take it by force. No, he's not. He's gonna rename it with tariffs.
What I don't understand about taking over Greenland is that we are going to take over so much land that it's too big to be the 51st state, and we can't afford to make it the 51st state. So what, aside from the base that we need there and the world needs there, I don't understand. And then I'm told that Congress makes the decision if we spend the money and take over the state, not President Trump. So I honestly don't.
Look, understand this. Understand this. If ever in the far distant future, when Trump is gone and we're all gone and stuff, our adversaries ever decided that they really wanted to get serious about getting down against us,
Okay.
they can easily take over the base. They can easily take over the base. And what people need to understand is everybody, because Greenland and Denmark and all that shit,
Yep.
Denmark is our allies, but
Right.
they're also part of the European Union.
Yeah.
They don't have America's best interests at hand because China and Russia, they're part of the European
Yeah.
Union. They got dips and dabs going on. Look,
Right.
our little base over there ain't going to deter shit. No, it's going to be like, damn, they right at the back door. Shit, we got no. He wants Greenland not just for the lithium and other natural minerals and all that other shit, but to be a strategic, vital military force there. That's what it's all about. It ain't just, he not just a base. Believe me, if he got Greenland, that base would probably
Right.
It would be they might build a damn nuclear site that they put missiles and shit out the ground.
Yeah. He's
Number one thing, like he said,
I
if
agree
we
that
don't get it, they gonna get it.
yeah, he's not buying things for himself. He's buying, he's got everything that he needs for himself. He might want more. He might want to own a country. Maybe he can't. Maybe he can't. But the bottom line is when he leaves, I think it's going to be he's gonna say, I did everything I meant to do, and now it's Mr. Vance's turn to take over and carry on in my
Maybe
footsteps.
I don't know.
Well, I don't.
I don't know if he'll.
I don't know enough about J.D. Vance and the media, both sides, the Republican side and the Democrat side. They present him in such a harsh way. It's hard to decide if he's the man. I know, and I shouldn't say this, that I don't think Marco Rubio is the man to be president. Vice president, maybe, but Secretary of State, yes.
I think I truly believe as long as you're America first, you got some common sense. You know how to run something other than your mouth.
Yep.
There used to be back in the day, people would say, you know what, you could be president, you could be president, you could be president. That's the highest office to hold in the land. That's the best. And then it somehow got so corrupted and so twisted and so demented. I wish it could go back to the day where we could have true good leaders who one, their job is to make sure America's first in the world, make sure we're safe. And I mean, we've taken into where we think we have to cut off our nose to spite our face with these evil politicians that have sold out America to deal with the devil overseas. And over decades, they've got Americans numb to that shit and used to that shit, like stock syndrome. Shit ain't got to be the way it's got to be. And Trump is trying to, do shit that ain't never been done. Like his first term, when Barack Obama said, "Oh, he's going to need a magic wand to bring back manufacturing," and he did it his first term with that shit. See, that's why I don't put my energy towards these people. I know and understand everything. Well, maybe not everything, but I understand the strategy. I understand the moves that he's making. I don't know why he's making all the moves, but in a sense, I understand. But
Yep.
the naysayers and people that are continually out there causing these riots and all of these, because that's what they are. They're riots. They're saying no damn peaceful protests. Do we have some? Yeah, as they would say on their side. Yeah, we do have peaceful protests. Well, yeah, you do, but we are addressing the other ones. Why you always want to talk about the peaceful ones? Peaceful ones ain't got nothing to do with this shit.
Right.
Peaceful residents out there protesting do not qualify for this topic. We're talking about crazies out there.
Right.
It ain't so damn peaceful. You know who you are. Don, it's crazy.
And if we were doing it peacefully, all totally peacefully, there wouldn't be the need for this person getting arrested, that person getting arrested. And
AJ, I can't put you in the comments. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
I thought the
No,
comments
he's in the background. He need to come up on the panel. What my man doing? What's my man doing? Is he in school today?
he's always welcome. I just got to know a link to send it to.
AJ's sitting back eating some bacon and eggs and French toast with his shirt off, kicked back, watching ESPN or some shit. I don't know. It's 10:30. He might have a cold beer. I don't know.
Well, if you need a cold beer at 10:30 in the morning, I guess you should have that cold beer at 10:30 in the morning.
Hey, he snowed in. He ain't going nowhere.
He's in the snow. He's not going anywhere. Yeah.
They live in like the Waltons up there. They up there in the mountains somewhere.
Yep. He's in the snow. He's not going anywhere.
I don't know if he's got a 4-wheeler.
I don't. I hope so. He might need one. I hope everybody else has one, or at least someone is loaning one or doing the road work so everybody can get out. And I'm sure they will help you. Make sure that you're taking care of your neighbors, as everybody says during the winter. Make sure you're taking care of your senior citizen neighbors, that you're helping them. If their heat's off, put them over at your house until their heat comes back on, if you can.
And remember, no matter what platform you're watching us on, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you can get them instant notifications.
Yep. Do all that stuff for Brother Ray, because that's important. Then remember that you're watching me on Facebook and you're watching me on X, Streetlock, and Wimkin today, because that's who we decided to throw on free of charge. If you go over there, they're supposed to, if you click the link, then YouTube brings you over here. If you don't, I can't help you.
All right, where else we going? What else is going on out in the world?
What else is going on, Ray? What else is going on?
I don't know. It's just crazy. And then they're trying to say, if you're not wondering, we're back to the crazies that stormed
We
the
go
church.
all over it.
We're back to the crazies that stormed
We
the
go
church.
back to the crazies.
They're trying to say they have a First Amendment right to do this. Y'all have a First Amendment right to peacefully protest.
Right.
That wasn't a peaceful protest.
No.
Y'all took over. Y'all took over the sanctuary. Y'all was scaring people left and right. Kids was crying.
Yeah.
Old ladies was praying for you.
42,000 people walked off their jobs yesterday and went to go do something else. But did they think about the 42,000 or 42 million people that depend on the 42,000 people? Did you lose your job because you walked off and got into a protest instead of staying there at the factory that you work at and making whatever you make? I mean, I don't want to tell people not to protest, but I mean, there was more involved than if you were just a paid protester and you were going to protest to make it look good.
Right.
There really was. And and no one's going to ask you the tough question. Did you lose your job? Because, if you walked off from me, yeah, you have a right to protest, but, you have a right to get paid by me too. And if getting paid by me wasn't important enough and you walked off, then, then you deserve what comes from it. And if you lose your job, I'm sorry. If you didn't lose your job, great. But if you're getting paid and getting paid to ride the bus and they pull up and hand you a bunch of stuff and a sign and you don't even know why you're there, what the hell is the point of doing that job? Go ahead, Ray.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
They're idiots, but they're gonna learn sooner or later. That they will. I'm trying to for the people to keep it in context so y'all know exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. Hold on. There. We are ready. Oops, we were ready. Hold on.
They aren't, more importantly. They are not random organic Minnesotans. No, they are out-of-staters, paid members possibly of Riot Inc. Also, Don Lemon facing criminal charges now for breaking the Klan law. Yes, on MLK Jr. Day, Don Lemon to be charged with breaking the Ku Klux Klan law. And more stories stemming from the church protest yesterday. Let's start with this.
Why are you not at Whipple protesting? Why are you not standing up with your Latinos
I mean, what a scene. Did you ever think you would see anything like this in the United States of America? Rapper Nicki Minaj posted this image that appears to show a family inside the church. You can see they're comforting this little boy who no doubt was frightened about what was going on in the place where he and his family go to pray on a Sunday morning. So the DOJ is vowing to pursue federal charges in this case, and there are a number of federal statutes that support the prevention of obstructing a church service.
Assistant AG for Civil Rights, Harmeet Dillon, who we mentioned yesterday on our broadcast, we asked her, where is the civil rights investigation into this?
Charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us. Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal charges.
Then you got this idiot.
MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because it's a assistant attorney general, I don't know, what's her name? Something Hammett, Dillon or whatever. So I have no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests. Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. That's it. It's called journalism. First Amendment, all that stuff. For all of you people who believe in the First Amendment, absolutist, there you go. So why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea it was to have the protest at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea.
You can see all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps.
This guy right here, the loudmouth who came in screaming at these Christian children, scaring everyone. This guy's been linked to other protests. For instance, here he was in D.C. a couple weeks back, in Washington, D.C. Now he's in Minneapolis, screaming at these children. Here he was screaming at the National Guard a few weeks ago.
So you guys are aware that you're violating the Constitution? Where are you from, Staff Sergeant? Aren't you in the military? I was 11th Bravo. I got out in 2011. I did up my rank there. You got me there. But I was not a good soldier. I have a problem with authority. But apparently you don't. You don't believe in the Constitution, but at least I believe in that. So where are you from, soldier?
None of this is organic, friends. These people...
No, none of it is organic.
Yeah.
And Don is only looking for ratings, and Don is looking for Don, because there is no way that Don just went there peacefully asking the pastor, what about what's going on? He was going there to make sure that it was going on, and he got it captured on film. And
well, I'll tell you what. I hope they capture it on film when they toss his behind in prison. Because I'll tell you what, this cannot go unaccounted for.
it can't.
It can't go unaccounted for.
But it should never have gone this far. Okay.
Now imagine if there would have been security in there that had that, and they had firearms, or something like that. Or somebody had firearms. Or imagine if one of them protesters just decided to really go crazy and attack the pastor.
Well, imagine if a bunch of people in the church that might have been armed just got up and at random at the protesters that interrupted their service. You know, I mean,
I wish they would have just. No, I don't wish that. But yeah, things could have went sideways. Things could have went sideways.
Things went sideways that they should have opened up everybody's eyes. I mean, if you listen to President Trump, do you really want these people that don't belong having sanctuary in your state? Do you really want these people in Minnesota? Do you really want these people in Seattle? Do you really want these people in New York? And to me, it's like, if you really don't want these people in New York, then, or Seattle, or even Minnesota, then you got to figure out a way to fund it. And I mean, if you want those people there in New York, if you want the anti-ICE protests in Minnesota, then you got to fund them. You know, out of your money. Leave the rest of the money alone. Fight them out of your own money. But, you know, I don't understand why Renee Nicole Good was there. I'm sorry that she got shot. I'm sorry that she died. But it wasn't the right place. It wasn't the right way to protest against people doing their job. And in doing their job, the problems get removed.
Well, you know, I don't even want to give the mayor or the damn governor of that place any type of attention, but they are so they're so stupid.
Governor Walz, I guess, finally has said that he wants that President Trump was supposedly coming to see it firsthand, and Governor Walz wants to meet with him. If I was the president, I don't know if I would.
No, you can't meet with stupid Tim.
Oh,
yeah, for what? For what? No, they can't squirm their way out of this, bro.
It isn't even about squirming their way out of it. If you have the solution to the problem, Tim, then why aren't you running the solution to the problem?
2026.
Yeah.
You know who said it best? Cat Williams said it best. 2026, everybody getting ready to catch hell. Everybody getting ready to catch hell in 2026, bro. Everybody.
Well, get rid of all the bad people then. If he's a I want to believe that he Walls is the orchestrator of all of this.
Hey, I don't care who the orchestrator is. I just want to see people being held accountable. You know, the last administration, they locked up a lot of people
They did.
on some bull, and they put a lot of people's lives in disarray. They ruled General Flynn to be one of them. Roger
Yep.
Stone. I mean, they abandoned a bunch of them. They ruined a lot of, or tried to ruin a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't. See. I understand. You know that saying, "The wheels of justice turn slowly."
They do.
Can we stop producing all of the guilt on these people? If you're not going to do nothing right away, you just leave people dangling in suspense. You keep people dangling with emotions of, is there going to be any accountability? And if so, when? You've told these people have done
There,
all this crazy shit.
there will be when we the people stand up and be the people. And I don't mean the Republican people, the Democrat people, the independent people. We just stand up and be we the people. Because I think that's where the problems begin.
No, see, no, those are different type of problems. Those are social
Okay.
problems. Those are societal problems. I'm talking about the government that has the power to lock
Okay.
motherfuckers up. When are you gonna?
Yep.
When are you gonna start making their life inconvenient? Trump, do you just like dangling the fruit over these people, saying, "I got your ass," and just like seeing them squirm? Because we know what we see, we know what we hear, and a lot a lot of shit don't make sense. So we know there's something to it. Of course, these people are supposed to come out and deny, 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 deny. Of course. What sane person? That's why they yelling so loud. Those who yell the loudest, sometimes, most of the time, are guiltiest. So, you know, that's why Trump went through his shit so cool, calm, and collected.
Me,
Because he like at the end of the day, y'all ain't got shit.
maybe he feels if I tell them, if I warn them enough, then maybe they will get the message and they will back off. Unfortunately, as you shake your head, no, the world doesn't work
Yeah,
that way. And you stop telling them, here's a chance, here's a chance, here's a chance, here's a chance at a cookie, here's another chance. You stop doing that because when you go in and you nail them, then hopefully everybody sees that and understands it, and it all
this
stops.
is
It's like the Democrats and Jeffrey Epstein. If you had enough to convict Donald Trump on any of it, you would have already.
look,
You wouldn't just keep threatening to do it. You would do it
when
already.
Donald Trump leaves, because this is what I hold faith onto. When Donald Trump leaves, he will not look back and say, I left you standing, I left you standing. He will not look back and let the people that he know that he is doing all of this against, why he's doing it
Yep.
for, he's not gonna look back and be like, man, I let y'all stay around so y'all can continue to fuck the country up just after I put in all this work and left. Now he can't predict what the new ones will do because
Right.
he ain't a mind reader. But what he does know damn sure today is who the bad players are.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
believe Donald Trump is the type of president that could walk away from his project, which is making America great again,
Yep.
with the people that he had to fight for the past 15 years, it'll be, to make it that way. That's like him building a building and handing the keys over to a slumlord. I can't see him doing it. Can't see him doing it. So it's going to be very interesting. We got how much time we got left? We got 4 minutes because I do got an hour to go.
Okay, well then we got 4 minutes left. But then you're welcome.
But that was great. This was a great one, Dave. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome Friday. You're welcome anytime. Even if I don't have a broadcast scheduled, you could schedule one, and if you want, I'll come on. Anybody's welcome to join us on the broadcast. If you, as long as you have Messenger and I can send you a link, then you're welcome to come on. AJ, you're welcome to come on anytime because I can't read them. I didn't see them on. It's weird. I didn't see them even on Facebook. I didn't see them on the monitor. I just saw them on. I'm logged into Facebook on this one, and I saw him here. But he's 100% spot on. With all of it. We basically own Greenland for what we've done. We own the Panama Canal for what we did. Jimmy Carter selling the Panama Canal for what, $1 was, no. I don't know the legalities there, but he did it. He's dead. You can't nail him because he's dead.
It is what it is.
Right. So it is
what it is.
It is what it is.
My guy's going to continue to keep doing what he's doing.
I just get tired of hearing people attack the guy and want to say to them, if you think you have anything, then go attack the guy. This guy from New York, Sri Tenadar, or whatever his name is. It left me thinking yesterday as I watched him. They don't send the big shots anymore, the big guns on the other side in to do something anymore. They send in the small people because they must figure it's not going to go anywhere. They don't want the big guy taking the fall for the fact that it didn't go the way they wanted. So they grab this guy that is probably lucky if he gets reelected. To run an impeachment,
right?
All the big shots are just like I said. All the big shots just don't want their hands in it anymore because they understand there isn't going to be one. Why can't we just break bread, get along, and do what we need to do, and agree on what we disagree on, and go from there? Maybe we don't disagree on anything. Maybe it's just worded different. But $9 billion is $9 billion. If you take $9 billion away from me and a bunch of other people that are entitled to it, then you're doing something wrong.
But hey, I want to bring something to your attention real quick. So
anything
since we're talking about Denmark real quick.
Okay.
Check this out. This is self-explanatory, and then let me know what you think this is all about. Let me know when you get it, Dave.
I had it there.
And we'll close it out with that one.
We will. Okay.
Just lets you know how serious countries are.
Yep.
Our next story takes us to Greenland. Europe has finally decided to flex its muscles there. It has deployed troops to the island. It sounds serious and ominous, right? Like Europe is arming the island of Greenland. But wait till you hear the number. Europe has sent less than 50 soldiers. Yes, 50. Less than 50 soldiers to secure Greenland. This is an island of 2.1 million square kilometers. If you do the math, that's one soldier for every 42,000 square kilometers. Now, to put that in context, that's one soldier for an area that is the size of Switzerland. That is Europe's Arctic deterrence. Look at the numbers, the breakup. France has sent 15 soldiers, Germany has sent 13, Finland sent 2 liaison officers, Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands and the UK are contributing small teams. Altogether, you're talking a few dozen personnel. They're part of a Danish-led exercise. It is called Operation Arctic Endurance. European officials insist this is a reconnaissance mission. But the context is very clear. Europe wants to be seen in Greenland.
From today and in the coming period, there will be an increased military presence in and around Greenland of aircraft, ships, and soldiers, including from other NATO allies. Security in the Arctic is of crucial importance for both the Kingdom of Denmark and NATO as a whole.
But why now? The reason is obviously Donald Trump. He wants to take over the island. It's something that he's been talking about for 12 months now. Trump says he needs Greenland for national security, and his argument is quite simple. If the US does not control Greenland, Russia or China will.
The problem is there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off.
But here's the problem. Greenland is an autonomous territory. At the same time, it is part of Denmark. Denmark is a US ally. They're both part of the NATO, the US and Denmark. The US already has a military base on the island of Greenland. It also has full military access under long-standing treaties. But Trump does not just want access, he wants ownership. So what then is Europe trying to do? Europe says this deployment sends a strong political signal, a signal to Washington, and it shows how serious this is. The NATO, as you would know, was formed in 1949. This is the first time European allies are talking about deterrence against the United States. But let's talk the military reality here. Could these troops stop a US move on Greenland? The answer is no, not even close. The US military could capture Greenland within hours. It has airlift capacity that Europe does not. It already operates the missile warning radar from the Pitufik space base. Europe too admits that this mission is not about resistance, it's about complication. They want to complicate matters. Say American troops land in Greenland tomorrow, they won't just deal with Denmark, they will be dealing with French, German, Nordic and British personnel. That turns this into a complicated mission.
Well, to your first question on Greenland, I don't think troops in Europe impact the president's decision-making process, nor does it impact his goal of the acquisition of Greenland at all.
So 50 troops won't help, but what are Europe's options right now? Currently, it has 3 real options. Option 1 is deflate. Europe needs to flatter Trump. It needs to agree that Trump has a point, and then offer more NATO cooperation. The Europeans can only hope that Trump will be swayed by this, but this seems to be their current strategy. Option 2 is proper deterrence. Not 15 or 50 soldiers, but Europe needs a sizable presence. They need to be present in Greenland either permanently or on rotational basis. Also, they need to make the consequences clear. What happens if the US violates Greenland sovereignty? What will Europe do? The problem is that to do all of this, the Europeans need political courage and unity. And at this point, they have neither. Option 3 is waiting it out. Europe can just hope that Trump gets distracted. Midterms, China, Iran, something else. Europe can hope that Trump finds a new obsession and moves on. And honestly, it's their most realistic option at this point.
So
he's not going to give up. It's been 12 months, and he hasn't given up yet. And it sounds like the answer that I've been looking for. What is in Greenland? What is in Greenland is a strategic NATO base. So what he needs to do then is get along with NATO and figure it out. And NATO goes in there with him and shows their support of what we need Greenland for, because I'm sure what we need Greenland for, other countries in the world need Greenland for.
Why are you even talking NATO? This
Well,
man, you can't trust him. You cannot trust NATO. See, that's why I love Donald Trump. If you can't trust him, why you want to deal? He's this president is not like the other ones. He's not making deals with this devil. He knows that NATO does not have America's best interest at heart. So no,
then he just
because
needs.
you have to understand, China's part of NATO, Russia's part of NATO. I mean, he wants full control.
Okay, but if he wants full control and she says it's only going to take a few hours to get it,
yeah,
why don't we just do it? Why do we keep giving them chances?
No. See, Trump don't operate that way. See, Trump, he's very strategic. He's put all the countries that have went against him on this move now have tariffs on them. They don't want to pay them tariffs. Is Greenland really worth it? Y'all are going to, and then if y'all don't act right in a couple of months, it's going to take it from 10 to 25%. Do y'all really want that? Look, my guy knows how to play the game. Hate him if you want. And the ones on the opposite side that are feeling it, hate him. But he knows how to play the game. Okay, I ain't got to take it by force. I'll give you 3 to 4 months to act right. And then when I squeeze them 25% tariffs on you, and then, see, that's what it's all about. Sooner or later, they're going to be like, yo, Greenland ain't even worth it. Denmark, y'all already allies. He already got a military base there. What the hell? He ain't going to stop. And he ain't going to play this damn game for the next 2 years and get a stranglehold. Y'all can have the shit. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And I don't hate it. I don't hate him for it. Didn't you hear him? If not us, eventually, especially when he leaves, because don't nobody got the kahunas he got.
Right.
Well, a couple of them. But who's to say they're going to be in the position to affect the situation? He's in a position to affect the situation right now. Because if he don't affect it, the ones that keep their leaders in there, like Russia with Putin and Xi, bro, soon as Trump gone, bro, they gonna take that shit because we ain't gonna have somebody with the coons enough to stand up to him.
This is true.
So it is what it is. But hey, I appreciate another great Wednesday show with you.
Always a pretty pleasure to have you on. You're welcome anytime you want. And if it's not the right time that we do 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, pick a time and we'll come on and make it a good time for you.
Hey, but speaking of time, as always, in the meantime, in between time, until next time, I want to thank Dave Marvin for letting me come on him.
Always.
And remember, y'all like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for the notifications, depending on the platform you follow us on.
Ring the bell anyway. I'm starting to get to the point where I got to start asking for the bell to be rang too.
All right, brother.
Okay, Ray. All right, thank you. Ray Figgins from the Patriots Lab. You know him as William Rayfield. You know him as Ray Ray. We all call him whatever we want to call him. Except you don't call him late for dinner and you don't call him collect. I don't even know if you can call him collect anymore. But as I said, anybody is welcome to join us on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. That's simple. There were people in a Patriots Lab chat room, AJ Andrews, and we had to just watch him on a separate monitor. But that's why I put up the YouTube link, www.youtube.com/@DaveGlovin. Why? Because it just connects us all together and it's free. So, but there are better ways. Everybody comes to the table and everybody brings in their own links and sends it everywhere. and that way everybody finds out. Hey, today we were live on Facebook on my profile. We were live on the X platform. We were live on Streetlock. We were live on Wimkin, and hopefully you were there. I want to thank you for being there. If you want more and you're on X or Streetlock or Wimkin, follow that link, www.com, www.youtube.com/@DaveWoman. Follow that link. It'll take you to the Bully with the Bull YouTube channel. It is free to join. You can subscribe. You will be notified whenever we are live, but also you can watch old Boogie with the Bull broadcasts. Some will make you cry, some will make you laugh, some will make you laugh and cry. It's just that simple. We do this because we enjoy doing this, and I always say we, because it is a team effort. I get ideas from all over the place, and we just run with them the best that we can. So you're welcome to join us on the broadcast if you so wish to drink coffee and have fun. On that note, we have accomplished it for today. So we're going to end this one. We will be back Friday, Red Friday, with our Remember Everyone Deployed mission. We wear a red shirt if you can to show our respect. And we just go from there. And so like Saturdays, we're on at 10 a.m. And Tuesday and Thursday, we are available to be on at 7 p.m. if we have something to say that we want you to hear. Anyway, I'm Dave Globin, and you're not. Dave watching Boogie with the Bull, and we're going to go right about now.